What's up YouTube, it's Cascal here again with part 5 of my Diablo 3 playthrough. In the beta, this is the Demon Hunter that I've been playing. Now, actually since part 4, there has been a patch deployed, patch 10, which deleted all characters, so I had to make a new Demon Hunter. So I did that, and I played through until the point we reached in part 4, and remember in the end of part 4 we returned to town and I delivered the quest, and I've picked up the next quest. So now we are going to kill the Skeleton King, which is the end of the beta. I have a new skill here, it's really overpowered, flinging the stars there. They do a lot of damage. So that's definitely one of my preferred abilities so far. Also changed skills up a bit. The purple arrow I'm shooting is a slowing arrow. It does a regular amount of damage, as much damage as you'd expect, and then it snares the target while it slows the target, as you can see. But it slows the target I hit with the arrow, and also one target around it, so it's quite good. Got this. Let's see. So let's talk a bit about SOPA. I know it's kind of a trend, and it's kind of late to talk about it now, I know, but SOPA still has not been passed. And you know what's scary about SOPA is it hasn't even been passed, and still they've been able to raid the house of the creator of Mega Upload, and they've arrested him. He's going to stand trial, and they haven't even passed SOPA or PIPA or ACTA. If you guys don't know what SOPA or PIPA or ACTA is, basically SOPA is short for the Stop Online Piracy Act. PIPA is the Protect IP Act, and ACTA is the I don't remember the ACTA, but pretty much they're all the same. They can all damage the internet really badly if they pass. Basically, SOPA gives the US government the right to text. Basically, the SOPA gives the US government the right to close down, shut down websites like Mega Upload, where people can upload content, and if the website servers have copyright content on them that is accessible for other people, they can shut down the entire website. So that's what they did with Mega Upload, even though the bill hasn't passed. Now I'm getting another text. What they did is they shut down Mega Upload because it had a lot of copyright content on it. Now, to explain it in another way, it's kind of saying like, okay, well, say there is an island in the middle of the ocean, and you don't really know anything about the island except there are tourists coming to the island once in a while, and those tourists are generally good people. Now, say 1% of the tourists, say one tourist in 100, commits a crime. Let's say they steal a piece of bread from a baker or something. This solution that SOPA is doing, instead of just striking down on the one person that stole the bread, SOPA's logic is to just nuke the entire island, just throw a bomb on it and bomb everything to shit. The island, of course, being a website. If a website is up and someone uses it to distribute copyrighted content, instead of just striking against that person, they shut down the entire website, and the owner of the website has to stand court. I don't think it's cool, and a lot of people are protesting against it, and I think everybody should do as much as they can. I personally spread links and knowledge and stuff on Facebook and Twitter. If there is a demonstration in Denmark, I'll attend it as well. I know there's been a demonstration in Poland where people marched the streets because even though it's a US law that is about to be accepted by Congress, it affects the entire world because the US has so much power everywhere. I mean, it is the supreme power of the world at the moment. So definitely attend and do whatever you guys can to protect the internet. If SOPA passes, it could extend. Well, it could go out to the extent that if, say, 100 videos on YouTube has copyrighted content, say, leaked gameplay of a beta video is the best example in this case, or copyrighted music that the guy who made the video doesn't have rights to use, then they'd shut down YouTube for good. I mean, that's what they would do, and it can just ruin everything. And I don't think the people in Congress voting for all these bills understands it. So spread the word, and as Athene has done as well on his stream and Athene Live, he has raided, say, in quotations, raided US congressmen on their Twitter with thousands of people watching Athene's stream. They all went and sent a Twitter message to the congressman saying, you know, you don't know what you're doing, and we really, really strongly oppose what it is you're doing with this. So that's SOPA. Let's see. Anything else? Diablo 3 beta patch 10. First of all, they did character wipe, as I said. We're now playing on a new character, but the biggest changes are the UI and the removal of the Nephilim Cube and the Cauldron of Jordan. Now, the Nephilim Cube and the Cauldron of Jordan were two items that you had in your inventory. When you opened your inventory screen, you could just left click on the Cauldron of Jordan and then click on the items you wanted to melt, and it's basically like a disenchant in World of Warcraft. You'd break down that item into materials that you could use to craft new items. They've removed that, and instead now you have to go to the blacksmith in town, and he can break down your items for you into raw materials. Also, now you cannot do that on white items. You have to do it on blue or higher quality items. White items can now only be sold to a vendor for a normal amount of gold. I think it's a good change, to be honest, because I was disappointed in having the Cauldron of Jordan when I first saw it, because a lot of the fun that came from Diablo and Diablo 2 was the meta game. You know, you had the game built in Diablo, which was managing your inventory. It was like Tetris, and you had to pick which items you wanted to pick up and move on, because there were so many items all over the place. Obviously, you couldn't pick up all of them, so you had to choose and just move on. I think with the Cauldron of Jordan, you wouldn't do that. You'd just pick up everything, and if you didn't have room, you'd just go and salvage everything you had and pick up everything, so you would never pass any items. I mean, everything was worth something, and it wasn't really hard now that you have to go back in town like you did in Diablo 2. That leaves a bit of a choice, at least, if you want to go back to town and sell, and then use a portal and get back, pick up the rest of the items because they're all worth a lot, or you just want to move on. So I think it's a good thing. Now, the Nephilim Cube was basically just a pocket vendor. You could, if you had something you couldn't disenchant it, disenchant in quotations, obviously. If you couldn't disenchant it, you could just sell it by clicking the Nephilim Cube instead. And I'm really happy that was removed as well, because, I mean, what's the use of having vendors in town if you can just sell everything you have in your inventory instantly? The only thing you can use a vendor for then is to buy items, and vendors don't have the greatest of items most of the time. So yeah, those two are removed. That's a good thing. Now another thing they had was Scroll of Companion that they've removed. Scroll of Companion, you could pick up these scrolls. They would drop. You pick them up, you right click them, and you'd get a little companion that follow you around and pick up gold on the ground close to you. I think it was an annoyance factor because to maximize your gameplay and, you know, do everything as fast as possible, or most efficiently as efficiently as possible, you'd have to always have a Scroll of Companion out. So you'd have to open your inventory and right click it all the time, and you'd have to keep an eye on if you had it out. They removed the Scroll of Companion completely as well. They still have it in their minds, but they want to redesign it and figure out another way to use it. So that's a good thing as well in my book. Let's see, what else did they do? Scroll of Identify is gone. You'd have Scroll of Identify, and you had to right click on the item as you did in Diablo 2 to identify it. That is gone. Now when you pick up an unidentified item, you just have to right click it. There are no scrolls. I don't know how I like this feature, because what's the point of having an unidentified item when you just have to left click it to see what it does? To be honest, I think the Scroll of Identification was a really good thing in Diablo 2, because if you picked up an item and you didn't have a Scroll of Identification, you'd have that excitement in you while you head back to town and pick up more scrolls, or you'd have a friend that could throw down a scroll on the ground for you. I think it really added a game-changing element to the Diablo series, so I'm not really happy about seeing those go away, but I mean, it's an element I can live without, certainly. It's still a tremendously good game. I love Diablo from the bottom of my heart even. And you can see here the Diablo 3 looks really good. My view on it, it's gonna be great. I mean, I'm not getting tired from playing the beta, even though I've played it through several times on all different classes. But yeah, I guess that's it for me for this video, guys. I'll see you in part 6.